Hi Moonbeams, welcome to this unboxing, flip through and first impressions of the Surrealist Tarot by Luigi Di Giammarino. This is a Lo Scarabeo deck. Let's get started. First thing to notice, it does come in this tuck box. Usually, you have to be careful with a lot of tarot decks that come in tuck boxes because, and I know that that's how a lot of tarot cards used to be presented, but tuck boxes now usually kind of ring the alarm bells for whether they're a fake. But this has a guidebook, so it ticks that box because, again, fake decks don't have a guidebook. They usually have anything with a PDF code on. That's your big clue, but I digress. So I absolutely love surrealist art. I am not one for super realistic paintings or kind of things like that. I am weird and wacky. I like my art weird and wacky. So I saw this and I was like, oh, I've got to get this. I do want the Dali Tarot as well. So it comes in this tuck box. Pretty standard, straightforward. You've got a title card. I love the backs. I just think the backs on these are gorgeous. You've got your guidebook. So it does come with a little white book and it's got pretty standard definitions, a little bit on there. And then I think the rest is in different languages. So you get the structure of the tarot, you get a little bit about surrealism, which I will be looking at. You get, I think, is that an idea for a spread? Then you get your definitions going through. So you've got pentacles are liberation, wands are folly, cups l'amour fou, which is like love, I'm assuming, and swords are the unconscious. So it kind of does link in with the your swords are your thinking, your cups are your emotions, things like that. It does kind of link through, and they've not changed the names, which is great because I do not like decks that just change the names for the sake of it. So you got your typical, it wouldn't be a Lo Scarabeo deck without a Lo Scarabeo title card there. And let's get into the cards. So the card stock it's thin, I'm not gonna lie, but it's with thinner card stocks, I find it easier to shuffle. I do struggle with my hands, so if I'm shuffling for a long time, my hands do get really sore, plus the size as well. It's standard. I think it's pretty much standard tarot. So let me just check with the earthen. No, it's a little bit thinner than what I would say a standard tarot size is. Let's check it with the, yeah, so it's a little bit narrower than, because this is the Trionfi de Luna, it's a little bit narrower, which might make it, a nicer experience with the shuffle. But usually, that size is about as large as I can do with my shuffling. So it's thinner cardstock, which is fine. It's a really, really affordable deck. I got this as a gift, but it's about £20-ish. It did come, I think, from America because it's not as easily available over here, which is fine. I got it from, I didn't have to buy it from America, if that makes any sense. So yeah, so let's get into the cards. So we've got all this, you see this beautiful artwork. I'll just bring it up. The Fool. I've had a little sneaky peek, but I haven't had a lot of a look. But there's so much to dig into and to be able to journal. I think this is going to be a deck where I'm going to do a bit of a deck study on it, because there is so much within the cards to dig deep and to delve deep into and everything like that. If people have done deck studies and can recommend like videos or anything, or help or guidance on how to do, you know, I'm thinking of getting a book and yeah, notebook and doing a study on the bone stone and earth flesh first, and then obviously I put this into the mix. So there's your magician. Pretty much you've got the symbols, you've got your wand, your cup, the little eye there. I can't see the sword, but you kind of get the gist. High priestess, you got the pomegranate, you've got the two pillars. It's pretty, it does have homage to the Rider-Waite-Smith, but it goes in its own direction. The Empress, I love this. It's almost like she's a mushroom, you know, like she's got fungi growing off her. Yeah, I love that. I think this might be one for the old, you know, magnifying glass, having a look at deeper details. Then the Emperor, the grandfather of modern psychology. Oh, Sigmund Freud there. The Hierophant, I love this, how ancient this is, how like, and you've got still got the two people. It tickles my metaphorical pickle, my metaphorical art pickle. The Lovers, the Chariot, I love this little train. Justice, Hermit, the eye again. Oh, the people popping up there, like faces. The Wheel. Love that. It's like a person in a person in a person in a person. It's like, you know, like life is. It's constantly turning. It's constantly going, and it's like never ending cycle kind of thing. You know, like one of them infinity mirrors. That's what it reminds me of. It just goes on and on and on. Strength, I love. It's got Frida Kahlo there. She's an epitome of a very strong lady. Hanged Man. It looks a bit like Pinocchio. It's giving me a Pinocchio vibe. Yeah, it is. Yeah, interesting. Lots of dig. And the whale there. I got no strings. Sorry, I'm going in a neurodivergent tangent then. Death. Love this. I do love this. Just looks so solemn. So, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just Temperance. The sheep. It's giving me a bit of Big Brother vibes there, with like the eye and the thing, and he's there, and like all the sheep or goats kind of going off. Yeah, interesting. It's giving me, you know, the devil, love it. Bit of Salvador Dali there. And I do, yeah, as I said, the Dali Tarot is on my wish list. It's just because it's a little bit more expensive for the mass market. In terms of a regular mass market deck, I've got to kind of save up a little bit. The Tower, I love that this is not like, it's all not crumbling, but you can see that the weight, it's gonna buckle under the weight and everything. I love the different interpretation of it. Star, that's where the backs come from. The Moon, what chunks of the moon are you taking away? The Sun, that's just made me laugh. Yeah, this is an excellent card. Sorry, had to. We're in a household where if there's a chance for a pun, there's a chance for some wordplay, cheesy, like, you know, we said dad jokes, mum jokes. We're gonna take a crack at it. We're gonna take a crack at it. So yeah, this is a cracking card. Yeah. Anyway, I'll leave the egg jokes aside. Judgment. Ooh, that's interesting. magnifying glass, the world. Again, it's like it's on and on and on. Gives me that vibe. The Ace of Cups. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting what the guidebook has to say on some of these cards and the artwork. I love that, like sheltering in. 5. Oh, there's a 6, yeah. I thought I'd missed out the 6. 6, 7, sorry, again. Had to jump on that. 8. I like that 8 of Cups. He's still got the Rider-Waite-Smith, like the red cloak. He's going in the opposite direction for the cups. The 9. Ooh. Again, it's giving me slight weird mushroom vibes. Yeah. 10. Interesting. The Page. Knight. The Queen. Be interesting if these are actual real figures in, like, I don't know a lot about surrealist art, but you know, I know Frida Kahlo and Sigmund Freud and people like that, Dali popping up, but whether all of them are characters or whether they're significant people or whether they're just fictional. Pentacles. I like that egg. That's a different take on it. That is a different take on it. 3. I recognise that person. The 4. Oh, this is one I'm going to have to get used to probably before I ever think about like doing it into client readings. I'd really have to like get a bond with this. Yeah, the 7. Oh, wow. The interesting there. The 8. I like that. Again, it looks like Dali. Yeah, that looks like Dali. The Ace of Wands. I've got the 2. Looks like he's wanting to pick it up and he can't. 3. Yeah, that's very traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. Oh, but then it goes like deeper. Ooh. Somebody, it's always looks like there's somebody down there like pulling the strings, but rather from above, below. It's very bizarre. 6. Also looks a bit like like a James Bond type character. Whether this would be interesting, whether this is created by Luigi or whether it's curated art of different surrealists. I'm not as much of a fan of curated art and things like that, but I just think this flows. This has a flow with it that means if it is curated art, I don't think it is. I feel like it is one artist, or because it does have the same kind of artistic feel throughout. Three of Swords, interesting there with your Facebook and your, yeah, you're like smiley face. Yeah, interesting there. Yeah, social media slowly killing us. The Four, this is my trigger card. Never like this card coming out in a spread, because it's always telling me to rest, and I'm not a person that likes resting. Yeah. It's like the Temperance card, like having patience and getting a balance. Yeah, they're trigger words. Patience and rest are trigger words. Yeah. Five of Swords are interesting, and the mind, and he's like unraveling the bandages there behind the yeah, there's loads to read in these pictures. Feels a little bit more positive, this Ten of Swords. It'd be interesting to look at what the write-up says. A Page. Then we've got the Knight. The Queen. And the King. That feels like some sort of 70s like movie or something like that, or even like a B movie type feeling. When interesting with like the hand over the mouth and stuff. That intrigues me. So let's quickly see how they shuffle. As I said, I'm not a riffle shuffler, so I'm a side-by-side shuffler. They shuffle really well. Yeah, they are on the thinner side. I would say they are similar to Llewellyn, but I don't know whether it's the new Llewellyn cardstock, but I've got the Shadowscapes and it feels similar to the Shadowscapes tarot. Maybe Tarot of the Abyss, like US games kind of. Yeah, thinner, but it's pretty good. It's pretty very good for, you know, shufflers, like we say. Right, we've got the Empress. So let's see what the guidebook says about the Empress. Creative frenzy, an unsettling muse capable of revolutionizing the course of a lifetime. The future of man is woman. And then it's got Louis Aragon. So that might be the actual painting, who the painting's by, or just a quote. I like that quote. I'm definitely, when I do I want to do a like have myself a book based on, you know, getting a big, not like that, you know, a book like this where I have you know, 2 pages for each card, and that quote is definitely going in. So I feel like I'm going to end up adding all these quotes from this guidebook into that book, into that study book. So it says surrealism originated from the theoretical vision of the poet André Breton, who codified the guidelines of the movement in the first Surrealist Manifesto of 1924. Surrealism is a cultural movement that involved all visual arts, literature, and infant cinema, having a profound effect on the research of many artists and intellectuals. It says, in the midst of foreboding silence, a rattle a forest, a woman's bust, a strip of sky, a tent, a hand, a mountain, and the mysterious wind picks up and the experience begins. So yeah, it's all very mystical. It says the Surrealist Tarot deck was designed and produced following the same techniques adopted by the Surrealists, and this is why one may say that this is a deck with a liquid skeleton, where the structure bends to the needs of the dreams and the poetry. The minor arcana are embody the stages of dreamlike journey punctured by surreal visions, some of which, like Dali's soft watches or Marguerite's men in bowler hats, have become a shared heritage of imagination, concrete proof that Bretton's dream of transforming the world and changing life was not actually quite so reckless. Even each major arcana, which, as well, I haven't got my teeth in properly today. Each major arcanum, as well as each minor arcanum, bears an evocative name, which often recalls the existing surrealist painting. The major arcana are also accomplished by a quote that expands the meaning of the card. Right, okay, so yeah, not sure whether it is created, well, I'm assuming it is created by Luigi and it's not other people's artwork, because it does flow very well in itself, if that makes sense. But it is absolutely like stunning, and I'm gonna really enjoy going through this, working with this, developing my practice with it, doing some like practice readings and things with it. And yeah, so thank you everyone for making it through the video. If you could please subscribe, like, drop me a comment. What do you think of this deck? You know, you don't have to be, if you don't like it, you can say, we're all, you know, we're all grown adults here. We can all kind of have this healthy debate and everything. But yeah, let me know what you think, and I will see you on Tuesday for more of a chatty video on Tuesday. So see you around. Have a lovely weekend, moonbeams. Bye.